Welcome to another MP4Nation.net video and review. Today we're just going to look at the new Nationite NaNite N1. The N1 is our first player in our NaNite MP3 player line. When we mean MP3, we really mean they only play audio. So there's no video playback in these players. Here's the packing. It's a little bit more creative than our usual Nationite packing. The player's in this little box here, but let me show you our accessories. It doesn't come with a lot of accessories. It's a very simple player. Here's a standard USB cord for data transfer and for charging. One of the beautiful things about the N1 is that it can be charged via your PC, and under 1 hour charging gives you about 40 hours of playback time. Your standard earphones, which also I recommend you upgrade to either the alphas or our betas, or use your own better quality earphones, because the standard earphones aren't that great, but the audio quality out of the N1 is actually very good. Your standard manual, and let's take a look at the player itself. The player is quite small. I mean, it's actually tiny. It has a Sigmatel chipset at its core. So it's a very powerful, very well built chip, and the audio quality out of this is very nice also. It comes in black and in purple. Let's see. Apart from the color, the two are the exact same. The models I'm holding in my hand have 2 GB of internal memory. There's also a 4 GB version available. And for the rest of you review, I'm going to look at the black model. And just show you how small this is. Here's a ruler. It's about 5.5 centimeters long, 1.5 centimeters wide, and about 1.2 centimeters thick. It's tiny. It is very, very small, and it can easily fit in your pocket. Another beauty of the N1 is that its controls. It has a joystick control here, which acts as volume if you go up and down. Left and right is fast forward, rewind, and it's also for menu navigation. But it also allows for, when it's in your pocket, for blind navigation, because you can just easily push down on the button if you want to, go to the next track, or push back to the previous track, or just change the volume without having to take the player out. So it's very good for blind navigation. A lot of people have asked us for players like that. Up here you have the 3.5mm audio jack, the 5-pin USB cord jack, and a slot here for a neck strap. Down here is also a reset button, conveniently placed in case you need it. You play pause button, which also acts as the on-off button, and a dedicated button to the equalizer menu. Turn on, just play. Overall, the N1 does load very fast. However, whenever you disconnect it from a PC, the loading time will take a little longer, because the player does read through all the audio files again to build the music database. And this is one of the reasons we really like the N1, or more or less the Sigmatel chipset. It actually allows for sorting of your music by, all songs. Obviously lists all the songs, artists, albums, and genres. And what we like about the artist view is that if you click artist and say, if you go down and choose Pink Floyd, it then shows the different albums under that artist. And you click, and then you get all the songs within that artist. So it is better laid out, better management of songs than we have seen on like rock chip players. And actually, the rock chip chipsets that would drive these small players don't offer ID3 tag sorting at all. So, and then again, you got albums, and you can find individual albums. Click it, hit play. There you go. Starts playing. Oh, there we go. It does start scrolling the file along when it is playing. You can easily just fast forward to the next song, or just hold down the joystick button if you want to fast forward through the song. And then you hit the equalizer button, it brings up the equalizer menu, and it has SRS WOW enabled, which is something that the Sigmatel chipset has. It's an advanced form of EQ with a better sound quality. Has WOW HD, which is a preset equalizer, and if you go to SRS, you can then use the user base, so you can change the SRS to your own specification or to your own liking. pause the song. Also, there's normal rock, jazz, pop, classical, and it also has your other basic user level, you know, you can change the EQ there. And then also, browsing through songs isn't that bad. You can just or if you hold it down, it'll jump a couple of songs. But more or less, you know, browsing through songs isn't that hard on this device. Although it is a very tiny screen, so do keep that in mind. I mean, for this device, such a tiny device, to have a screen, display ID3 tags, and sort music is a wonderful feature. Something that we felt have been missing on such small devices, and what we also thought was critical if we were going to have this type of player, or have an MP3, dedicated MP3 player line. And then you can just go back, and this is the main menu. Music, record. It does have a voice recording function. Voice, that's for the playback of the voice recording. Your settings, and here again you can bring up the EQ menu. Your various play modes: normal, repeat one song, repeat all songs, or random. You know, you shuffle. Screen contrast, which is basically to dim the screen, brighten the screen. And you have your auto screen off for how long before the player should turn off before. Sorry, the screen off. How long? So the screen off is for how long before the screen turns off while the player is being run for music or the buttons aren't being touched. Auto off is for how long before the player is idle before it automatically shuts down. And language currently only supports English and Chinese Simplified and Chinese Traditional, Mandarin and Cantonese. And then your storage info, and here you have this is using the full 2 GB so far. And then your factory default settings. It also does have, for now playing, it won't go back to the last position, well, unless you pause it, but if you turn it back on, it won't go back to the last position where you turned off the player, but it will go back to the last song that was playing. So that is a nice feature. So, I mean, it is a very small, very compact player, and it does have a bit of a more advanced user interface that you would normally find on devices such as this. And again, 1 hour's worth of charging via your PC will give you about 40 hours of continuous audio playback time. And that's with the screen off. And that's fantastic for journeys and stuff. This is great if you just want to use it for day-to-day use, or for jogging, running around, exercise, whatever. Very convenient, very small, and as you can see, it's very simple to use. You don't need to have any sense of technology basically, because it's just a very straightforward device. The audio quality out on this is also very, very good. But again, we would recommend you to not use the standard earphones that we give you with this, because they're just not that good. And yeah, just throw them. That's our opinion. They come free from the factory. That's why they're included. Anyway, this is the Nationite N1. It comes in 2 GB and 4 GB. The 4 GB is under $50 US, and the 2 GB is under about $40, $30, depending on when you're looking at this video review. So head on over to mp4nation.net to check this player out, or head on over to our forums to discuss this. Thank you.